Alright, y'all, this is going to be I almost said lava. It's going to be a flood. This is going to be a simple thing to make. And what we're going to do is just import in the old reliable, our little car we use for scale. To give us an idea the size we need to make this. Now all this is going to be, it's going to be just a simple mesh plane, like the lava was. Just a simple plane. But it's going to be rather large, so it'll give the appearance it's a larger volume of, water or something. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the texture, but we're going to give it a base texture of just water. Let's see if I got the flood texture and my level. One of the ones I already made. Flood, where are you at? Alright, we're just going to use this texture. I need to scale it though, because it's not going to look right that close up. So I'm going to go into UV editor. We're going to pick the face, the front face for this, and basically just well, let me turn this on so you can see what it's doing. I'm just going to make it so that it's a little more, a little better. I mean, it's not going to look great. I mean, really, it'd probably be better just to have a solid color, orange, or the color of water. But this will work. I may even just animate the texture, make it look like it's kind of moving, like the lava. Now here's what's going to make this one different, is it's going to be below the ground to start with. See the ground where the truck is there. And what it's going to do, it's going to slowly rise, and I'm going to tell it to be over the course of 2,000 frames. So what I'll do is I'll start by making turn on auto key, and I'll just move it up just one tick. And then I'll go to the last frame of 2,000. And in this frame, it's going to rise like a flood. Now, unfortunately, it won't have real water physics. It's just going to be it's just like an illusion. Like it'll just slowly. And the reason it's going to do this is like, it's really, you know what? The first frame should probably be, the very first frame should be higher. Because you're going to be waiting a long time for that to come up. So what it's going to do in the game, it's going to slowly rise. Like this. So whatever video you're making, it'll look like a flood kind of rising up out of the, in the scene. So we'll put our two empties, two plane axes, and call it base 0, 0 and start 0, 1. Now collisions won't work on this either, so it's just for cosmetics. This is not actually going to do anything. name the texture. Now I'm going to name the texture the same thing that the other flood's named, so I'll go into that folder. So what did I name it here? Flood 1. That'll be the same thing. In fact, I'm going to copy this and use it again. Copy these. In fact, I'll just use all this. Now think about it. That'll be the easiest thing to do. I'll just copy this, put it on the desktop. I'll call this, rename it to Flood 3. I don't think I made a Flood 3 yet. And then that's where I'll put this model. I just have to name the texture. Oh, that's the wrong blender. This one. Name it Flood 1, same as the other. And I'll call this object Flood 3. Flood 3. Alright, now I'll just export the DAE file to the desktop in that folder. I'll just overwrite this one with this one. Or no. I'll just put another one in there so you have an option. You could load either one. I thought there was 2 in there. There was 2 in there. I don't know if I still got the other one. I'll just do it like this. I'll just take this and stick it in the other folder. Paste. But I am missing a flood too, though. So I got irritated when I reinstalled everything, and I deleted some stuff. Yeah, I deleted some stuff out of it. And I might have deleted my backup, which I got it on OneDrive. I can get it back off. Which I just increased my OneDrive capacity from 1 gig to 100. I was running out of room. Alright, let's load the game. And I guess I'll pick, actually, you know what? Let's do Italy. This got a little town in it, right? That's kind of cool. Or let's do West Coast. We'll do West Coast. We'll go into the city area, Chinatown. We'll do our flood in there. Now I gotta save the level, and then so I have a user folder for this level. There's not one yet, so what I do is save level, and that gives me a user folder. See West Coast. Now there's not an art in the there's not an art folder in here, so I'll just create one. And then in here is where I'll put that folder that I just saved to. Levels, outrun, art, flood. And you can do this with any of my stuff. You can copy one thing into the other just like this if you want to have it. And since the way I did the material files, it'll work in any level, or it should work in any level. The only thing is, once you do that, you just have to go back into the asset browser. If you already loaded the game, for example, like I already loaded it, I'll pick the art folder and I'll say regenerate asset data, refresh directory, you know, to refresh it, it'll have the new folder in there. Flood. So this is the first flood. No texture. I'll be damned. I just got out my mouse and copied this from one folder to the other and I have a problem. Oh, that's right. You got to reload the game. You have to reload the game when you do that. I keep forgetting that. You can't do it that quickly, unfortunately. Because even though it refreshed the asset data, it didn't load all the stuff, apparently. Oh, wrong map. Using like the PS4 menu bleeps. Or, I mean, Xbox. For its menu, what it kind of sounds like. Alright, monkey be red now. Arc flood. There it is. There is our flood with our corrected texture. Now you can make a river for this. That you can do. I'm not really sure how. I don't have the other one, the one that was flat. I had another one that was flatter than this. But we'll just use this like this, I guess. And just like water coming in from everywhere. I'll make this one wider. Alright, now the way this other one's going to work is you just stick it in the level and it'll rise up slowly like this. Give you time to do your animation stuff. If the texture is not right. So look at that, find out why it's doing that. See, it's not really, you're not really underwater. It's just a mesh. Just a simple plane. But, you know, you can kind of do some stuff with that, I guess, you know. Which is probably better it don't have a texture on it. That it's just reflecting stuff. But, you know, that don't quite look right. Let's see, let's look at the material. There's something in there that shouldn't be on. I'm perplexed why the texture isn't working. 'Cause, 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 Yeah, I don't know why. Unless it has to be. Oh, I know why. Because you cannot have an animated texture on an animated object. It's that simple. If the object wasn't animating and it was just solid and not moving, it would work. But yeah, I just remembered you can't have it both ways. You have to pick one or the other, unfortunately. But that's how this is done. If anybody wants to use this, I'm gonna link it. Which it'll repeat after it gets to its maximum height. I'm not sure where it's at now. Oh, it's still rising. You just have to, when you set it up, you just have to set the first frame of it, below the ground, so that when it starts to rise, it's below. Which what? And that's just how you would do it. Maybe this should be. No, I don't want to edit the material because it'll mess up those. But I think this will work.